This is the first time we are trying to have a live match from the quarter for the 148 elimination. We're trying as World Archery put in our matches or our previous phases before the finals on YouTube so people can follow. We are using the event toolbox. It's a solution we have developed to provide this in a level that we can afford it and we can do it technically. And we can see now started the match of the 148 finals from Appels against Miller. It's a very good start. An X. We can see the archer is trying to read the wind, trying to find the moment that the wind is a bit more consistent. Very good start, yes. We have to remind that it's 70 meters distance from the shooting line to the target. So there's enough time and fly of the arrow to move it if the wind is very strong. Archers used to aim off, try to compensate. There's a flag over the target and they try to read how much wind is affecting and compensate aiming on side, off, aiming off as we to say.
This age group is the 20, 19, and 18-year-olds, is that correct?
That's correct. It's our junior recurve. We have cadets in this championship.
And the juniors shoot 70 meters and the cadets shoot 60, is that correct?
Totally right.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, we could hear the coach making the countdown. The archer was very close to the end of his time shooting and had to shot. Didn't manage to get the side right, and of course the wind is affecting this shot. We are using here the set system that we use for recurve, so a one bad arrow could be compensated if the next one he make it right. That's the advantage of the set system.
What these athletes in the older age group, what are the chances that some of these athletes will be representing their countries in Rio in 2016?
That's an excellent question. Let's say that the Youth World Championship is very important for all the national team and for World Archery because it's our future. But the future is going so strong that sometimes it's the present. And some of the archers here in some countries have archers that are junior or cadets and they are already in the national team, in the senior team, and they might have a chance to be in the national team. In case of Miller from US, I don't know how the trial's going. I think it's a bit young still, and the senior are quite tough right now. And in the case of Netherlands, we had seen more and more juniors coming to the senior team. But indeed, these archers from this championship, several of them will be in the Olympic in Rio, and seeing the level they are performing here, it's not a strange surprise.
So what age? You were an Olympian, 1996, I think, huh?
96, 92.
92, okay, 1992.
Correct.
What was the age of your team then? Do you remember?
Yes, we have an average of 26. I was 24 in this time, then we have 26 Antonio, and 29 was Alfonso. So opposite, 25th Alfonso and 28th Antonio. So it was, but archery has changed since then. And let's say the team have become younger, a bit younger. Experience is still an important fact, but of course you have to have the time, the motivation, and let's say the lack of worry to compete in this.
So was there a Youth World Championship at the time you were shooting competitively?
Archery has changed a lot since 1992. 24 or 22 years. When we were shooting, there was a Youth World Championship, a junior in this time was called, and that was not as big as this one. There was less participants, and the competition format was different. And yes, it was existing, but I don't think has so much importance like nowadays. And the fact is that this competition is very, very close to the World Cups and World Championship we do in the senior. They have TV, they have the same format, a field for finals. So it's very much similar, when in my time was quite different.
So there's no doubt that the schedules and the structure that World Archery has now has definitely been a factor in lowering the age of participants at the world level.
Yes.
I mean, all the competition they can shoot in now prior is helping that age come down.
Totally right, Bruce.
How about scores? Are the scores that much different today from what they were 20 years ago?
Very much,
Yeah.
very much. Junior has increased a lot, the level, and that's very good. And especially not only the score, but the number of countries that reach the score. We have more and more countries in a top level and making amazing scores. The wind is hitting us again, so let's come back to the match. We have Netherlands leading with the first set, 2-0. So it's time that now the US has to come back if they want to still be in the match. We are in the NFA Center in the Easton Foundation Archery Center. It's an amazing facility who has field ranges, has indoor range, has outdoor range target, 3D. Let's say it's the most complete archery center in the world.
Yeah, we've got all the disciplines represented here. It's
When did it start?
we started in 2008 with this field, which is Easton Field, and we've just we've added our newest field, First Dakota Field, which is the compound field for this. And they really are. When it comes to Olympic fields, they're not only big, but they're nice. We've got an incredible shooting canopy and cover here that you can see right now in this scene. This is the length of this is 600 feet.
Wow.
Which in our country is 2 city blocks long. And it'll accommodate a lot of shooters and a lot of spectators. And it's great to have. It's the Easton Foundation has been an integral part of everything archery, and this is just a great example of it. This facility is awesome.
What is interesting, we have 2 fields for targets, one on the side and to another. This one we are in the Easton field, which is the Recurve we are using for Recurve archery, and then we have one on the west side, which is the First Dakota Bank field.
Yes, First Dakota Bank, yeah.
Which is we are using for compound.
Yep, and it works great for this tournament.
We will watch now the junior match, and the next one we will have a cadet match, and the end of the morning session will be a compound match. So we have a bit of everything.
Oh, good, we have everything.
Go to the second set. Normally the one, normally in this kind of elimination, when we go to finals, they should alternate, so we can follow one and the other. As we are in the 148 finals, they should non-alternate altogether, so we have to catch who is shooting at what time. Appel start with a 9, and Miller is struggling a bit with the wind still, and got a 7.
Many of the spectators watching this probably don't understand exactly how it works. When we look on the screen and we see sets, explain now. They're shooting 3 arrows each end, and they're competing, of course, by total score. If one beats the other, that isn't the set. How does that work? How do they score that?
Okay, the match is that the first who reach 6 set points win. In each of the sets, if you win it by points, you get 2 set points. If you time points, if the 2 archers make, for example, 27-27, it's 1 set point for each. And so we have to reach the 6 set points.
And a set is actually 2 ends, is that correct?
A
so
set
it's 6
is
arrows?
3 arrows.
Or 3 arrows, okay,
arrows,
so it's 3
each
arrows.
set. So if you go straight away when you win the 3 sets, it's 6-0 and finish.
And you're done.
But if the other archers coming back, you can go to 2-2, you can 4-2, you can go 5-3. So as soon as we have done 5 sets and there's a tie, we make a shoot-off, which is 1 arrow, 1 dramatic arrow, and we measure the distance from the center. The closer to the center is the one winning. So right now it seems that Appel got the second set as well. He lead by 1 point, 22 against 21 from Miller. So he's leading right now 4-0. The advantage of the set system is that it's easy to understand, it's easy to follow, and if one archer has 1 bad arrow, he has a chance to come
recover,
back.
Yeah.
Correct. When in compound, when we show the cumulative score, as soon as one archer make a very bad arrow, it's very difficult and tough to come back. junior, as we mentioned before, 70 meters, and in cadet we go to 60, and in compound they're shooting 50 meters, but with a smaller target face.
And then how much time do they have to shoot each arrow, or each 3 arrows?
2 minutes to shoot the 3 arrows. And it seems a lot when there's a good day, it's a good condition, you have time enough to shoot, to focus, to concentrate, to make a shot. But in days like today, sometimes it's very tight, that we saw in the first set from Miller. He was struggling with and shooting the arrow the last 2 seconds. When it's a windy day or a tough day, you have to read the wind, you sometimes have to drop the shot and start again, and the 2 minutes looks like one. It's running very fast. It's like organizing an event, the time flies.
Yes.
You don't realize how fast it's running, and when you realize that the day is over, is really late.
The size of these targets, the target's actually 122 centimeters. That's the overall diameter, correct?
Correct. That's the diameter from one ring, from the end of the 1-point ring to the one is the diameter. It's
just for the spectators, how big is the 10 ring?
The 10 ring could be like a CD. We would say like the size of a CD.
The size of a CD. That's a good thing to tell people. Okay. And there's an X ring.
We try to see what the size of a can, but no, it's in fact it's a bit bigger.
A CD. Everybody in the world knows what a CD is, so that's easy. The X ring, that isn't used for anything except if there's a tie. Is that correct?
The X ring is when the archers are tied. We can use this to see the difference, who should a bit better. But let's say, as you see, it's a different line, a different color. It's not so visible because the value is the same. The X or the 10 have the same value, 10
same
points,
value, yes.
And we just use it for separate some of the ties when they have the same score.
Another thing for the spectators, when the archers shoot, they don't shoot the same time. They alternate the times that they shoot. What determines that, or how do they do that?
That's when we start in quarterfinals and we start in matches, or medal matches, we make alternate shooting. And the reason of that is that TV can follow the archer. Right now, as we can see, when both shoot, it's difficult to catch and follow really the archer shooting. So the TV director has to make a choice to follow one or the other one, or try to catch both, but it's difficult. So we decided in 1991, I think it was, to make it alternate, and to be able that when there's a television crew filming it, you can follow one archer, the arrow hitting this target, and the other one start. So that will start from the medal matches. As soon as we go to the gold or bronze match, we will make alternate. Right now they shoot no alternate. They have the 2 minutes to shoot the 3 arrows, and they can shoot at the same time.
Yeah. You know, you talked earlier about our whole center here and everything. What's really nice, all the viewers can see in the background, happens to be one of our hotels. And you can see the proximity to the facility here is 100 meters, which is really nice when you're here for a week-long event.
Yeah, we cannot thank you enough, because that's where I'm staying.
Yes.
So it's walking distance.
Yeah. And there's a great view, because you can see our entire center to the left, the whole white building. Our center has one of the only 2, I think, 90-meter indoor ranges in the United States, which is great for training under the control environment, of course. And everything is strategically located here, so people really don't have far to go to be able to do all the different disciplines. It's really handy for the archers, spectators, officials like yourself, everybody.
No, yes, and seeing the activities you run there, you run from tri-archery, from corporate activities, from promotional activities, community activities, and top-level sports. So you are more or less running what is archery from all ranges, from the very top and grassroots level to the really high and top level, competitive level. We can see a little bit with our production the huge extension of the field. We can see that there were more matches running. Archers go to a target, score, introduce the score in electronic system, so we can follow in live in our website, and our info system that is on the venue, what is happening every 3 arrows, and then they come back and get ready for the next set. That's why we can see that our match is waiting. It's waiting that other archers are coming back.
Oh, there's a great view. You can see our Native American teepees in the background of the center of the field.
Yes,
it's a nice little touch.
The local touch and taste of South Dakota.
Absolutely.
We can see the coaches of the archers behind with scopes.
Now, the coaches are also spotting for them, is that correct?
They spot for them sometimes, and also they want to see what is the other archer doing, or they give them tip of the grouping where it's going. But it's also allowed, they can talk to them, so it's not like in other sport that there's no way to communicate. Here we allow them to talk. They can, as far as they don't bother the other archer, they can give tips and they can give advice when they are shooting. Here we can see the clicker pass. The clicker is a metal bar or little laminate in front of over the arrows, so the archers are expanding until the clicker pass. The arrow pass the clicker, make the sound, and then the arrow shoot. So sometimes the clicker is coming through when you are ready or when the sight has moved, so the archer can stop and start again. We can see the movement of the bow. So right now they are tying points for the third set. You can see again how much the wind affects to the aim. And of course, Miller knows he can not make mistake. He has to come back. If not, he lose the match. Ooh, 2. And Miller managed to get this third set. He was more regular inside the red. Good. You can see now the Dutch of the Netherlands. He's looking to another target. Probably it's another Dutch archer who's shooting and he wants to see how it's going. In archery, it's quite a slow sport in men's, let's say, in the mental side. There's a lot of things you can think or you can do when you're walking to take the arrows and come back.
Gives you a good time to think about the next and what you've just also completed, right? Absolutely.
And that's quite interesting because in many sports, when you start doing the sport, it's a physical activity and you have no nerves anymore. And so you're a bit nervous or a bit anxious before starting. In archery, it's fact you start all this when you start shooting. You have a lot of time, you talk, you walk, and you can use this time to think positive or to start giving yourself problems. Let's say that the biggest challenge when you shoot matches is yourself.
Yeah. Much mental to the game, absolutely.
Correct.
Explain to everybody we're in the 148s. What does that mean? How many archers did they start with? These two gentlemen that are shooting. How many was the field of play to start with, approximately?
We make a cut of 104, as we don't have 104 archers
and that was
in the
yesterday,
category.
correct?
That's yesterday.
Okay.
They make a ranking round. Sorry, you're right. We start shooting 72 arrows at 70 meters, and we rank all the archers.
And that's just a qualification.
We used to call it qualification when there's someone go and eliminate, so they have to qualify. But as nobody was eliminated because they didn't reach the more than 104, we rank them. So we call it now ranking round. And we rank them, and for this rank, the first have to shoot against the 104, and we rank them by the top from the bottom. But we established a system some years ago that the top 8 has the right to pass to 116 final directly. So they skip the first 2 elimination to keep them a bit more protected and to give more interest for we go into ranking round where the top 20 wants to go in this top 8. So they get some little advantage. So right now we have the rest except the top 8 shooting and trying to go over until the 116. In the 116 finals, the top 8 join again the competition, and then it's going through single elimination until there will be only 2 shooting for the gold match.
And is this just what the Olympics is?
Exactly the same as Olympic. The only thing we have not in Olympic is the protection of this 8. It will probably come very soon, but right now in Olympic you have 64 archers, and they rank the first go against the 64, the second the 63, and there's no protection. And go in elimination until there will be 2 shooting the medal match, the gold match.
So in this tournament, we have 52 countries represented, and they're each allowed to have 24 archers. I know that. There's 3 for this particular division, the Recurve Junior Men, each country would be allowed to have had 3 competitors. Is that correct?
Totally right. In
Okay.
each category and division, they can have 3 competitors maximum.
And is that the same way on the Olympic level? Each
Correct.
country is allowed to have 3 that represent them?
Correct. Exactly the same.
Do they have to be the same athletes from those 3 that have to be represented in the team events? Or can they be separate athletes?
It's the same athletes.
Okay.
They shoot individually, and the rank is used for the individual rank position and also for the team position. They got the 3 score of the 3 archers they put together, and this is the score of the team.
So basically, several athletes could do both.
Correct.
You could be a gold medalist as an individual and as a team.
That's the point.
That's it, though. That's all you can win is 2 in archery.
Right now,
correct?
yes, but we are working with the IOC, with the International Olympic Committee, to include the mixed team competition and have the situation that the same athlete can win the individual, can win the team and the mixed team competition, which will give more importance to our sport in the Olympic movement and in front of the different NOCs. And this is a process we are working with the IOC, and we hope that by Tokyo 2020 we have the mixed team competition also included in the Olympic
and
Games.
Tokyo is the 2020 Olympics.
Correct.
Is the 2024 been picked yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
They are still in the race, in the fight. Right now we have 2016 in Rio de Janeiro and 2020 in Tokyo.
And what does the venue look like for archery in Rio?
We have amazing venue. It's the Sambódromo. Sambódromo, let's say, is the heart of the city where the carnival is happening, or the parade of the carnival, this long corridor. And that means we have a very iconic place and very famous for Rio culture and for the city. And that's where we host our archery competition, and we expect that will be not only an iconic place, but a fantastic.
And do you have any events before the Olympics on that field?
We have a test event happening in September this year, and there was a national championship happening last year there in September as well. So yes, there was some competition before. Let's see the next set. There's a little pause here because some of the matches has finished already. They're collecting the scorecard. So we can hear our announcer, Crispin Dueñas, also a top archer from Canada, who is doing the role of announcing pretty well, like in other events. He has done it before, announcing the result of some of the matches that finished already. We see Kisik Lee with sunglasses behind.
Yes, U.S. coach.
U.S. coach, one of the most successful coaches in the world, working with U.S. archery in several years, and of course very much involved in the future champions that will join his national team. I saw you were very brave having your volunteers wearing yellow t-shirts. For archery, yellow is quite...
Yeah. Wait, that's going for the gold. That's what our volunteers are doing.
Exactly. Very good volunteers, very dedicated.
I want to make sure they're visible so they can help people, and that's a great color.
And they do. They do.
Yes.
Any event could not be organized without volunteers, and we have to always thank them very much for giving the time and the passion.
Absolutely.
Let's go to the fourth set. Miller starting first. He was brave. He wants to catch. Now it's not so much wind, and he took a 10-liner. Appels is struggling. It's interesting in a match when you start the match, both have expectation to do it well, but as soon as someone starts leading and can see a win, could struggle. Now I can see I can win. An 8. Seems that Appel is struggling more with wind than Miller. An excellent shot from Miller. 3 very solid arrows, good grouping. Not easy at all with the wind that is blowing. 8 liner. Seven. It's not touching, so.
Looks like Miller figured the wind out without a doubt.
Yes, it seems that Miller came back to the game.
He's back in it.
Yes, tied it. So now it can happen that, of course, in the 5th and last set, any of them can take the lead and win, or both can make the same score and then go in a shoot-off.
And once again, it's 6 points to win?
Correct. So if any of them win the next sets, it will be 6-4 or 4-6. But if both make the same score, it will be 5-5, and we have to go to a dramatic shoot-off. And a shoot-off 1 arrow with this wind, let's say it's half good shooting and half a bit of lottery.
Yes, there'll be big impacts if it's 1 arrow.
Yes. We can see the golf cars and all your vehicles. In this extension, without vehicles, we will not be able to do anything.
That's
you
exactly
have
right.
You have a lot of support from local provider, and you got some vehicle. I don't know how you call them.
They're ATVs to us.
Okay.
The vehicle. Polaris is a big company that is a sponsor of ours here, and yes, those ATVs provide a big service. Every time that we take a break, there's much maintenance that has to be done on the field. The targets, the target butt, as we call them, the actual butt is the foam or the material that stops the arrow. And of course, every time you shoot, it's wear and tear on the target butt itself. So they have to be changed or rotated, and it's there's much behind the scenes, as they say, just like there is to the production of this. The crews that are out there are changing everything all the time to make sure that it's in exact condition for when the actual competition is on.
And I say it's a huge venue, so if you have to go to the storage place, you have to run. So better to take a vehicle and make it fast.
Absolutely.
As we can see, the archers go to the target. We see a beautiful vision of the eastern field. We have here 48 targets. And archers go to the target, they score themselves. It's a scorecard. As you can see right now, each of the archer introduce the score and the other opponent is observing. They make the math, the total, and they keep going with the manual scorecard, and then they have introduced the same value in the electronic score device. As we can see, we have to mark the arrows to make sure that if the next shot 1 arrow is bouncing or is passing through, the judges can identify where the hole or where the arrow hit. So it's mandatory to mark each of the arrows on the target face with a line, so we know which arrows has been already scored.
So how many World Archery staff are here to run an event like this for you?
Let's say budget-wise too many, and for the work to be done, not enough.
Not enough.
I don't know exactly the number.
I think
Normally,
there's 30 some, isn't that not right?
And then we used to be from 25 to 32, depending what events. It could be close to 30 here.
Yeah,
we have from the media people, from the field of play, of course the event director and the manager. And as you know very well, we try to support the organizer, providing some services and helping you guys to deliver and asking what is the standard, or making sure that the standard is what we expect. And it's really teamwork. We bring many people, but without you organizers, it will be impossible to do something in the size we are doing and with the level we are doing.
And it's amazing looking at the staff that's here from your end, from World Archery. I know there's 30 some that are here for all the specific jobs, but even additionally, there's another 15 to 20 judges. It takes quite a bit just to put the production on. There's no doubt about it, and a lot of people don't see that.
Yeah, that's the behind the scene that we know, but the judges we have here, 14 judges who are making sure that the score is run properly, that we follow the rules, and that everything is running as it should be, and the director of shooting who is running the time and making sure that the archers are shooting the time that is needed, but at the same time that make it safe. If something crosses the field, they have to stop the competition and make sure there's no any kind of little incident.
Yes.
Here we see the flags, beautiful decoration. It's always nice to have the flags of all the countries participating visible on the field. But also we can see the strong wind that is coming. In any case, archers were telling me they prefer a bit of wind that's no wind, because when here's no windy, it's raining.
Yeah, that's true. We'll save that for tomorrow. We want all the archers to have every example of our great South Dakota weather.
As mentioned before, there's a lot of time for archers to think, to try to manage their expectations, their fears, to have a good self-talking, and the discussion or dialogue with the coach is always important. To put things straight, to put things as it should be, and get ready for the next shot. How many more competition you have during the year here, Bruce? I guess that is not the only one you have here.
No, we have, in a general year, we'll have at least one national or world tournament, and then we have several regional and local tournaments. During the good seasons, which is April through November, we'll usually have one big tournament a month of some sort.
Every month, okay. Yeah. So we could say 10 to 12
Yes, 10 to 12 a year, yes. Wow.
Miller start with a strong shot, 9. It's clear he managed the wind and came back strong.
He has the wind figured out now.
Yep. And especially he's confident. You can see when he rides the ball, he makes the shot and strong shot. So he believes he can do it. So Peel make a 9 and Miller a 7. We can hear in the background the tips or the comments of the coaches. It's a 9-liner.
Looks to me like we got some good competition going on here. I don't think this is over in this set.
No, they are fighting really hard. 9. Yeah. Good. All depends on this last shot.
Yeah, he could take it right here, couldn't he?
Yes, but...
Oops.
That's it. I think Miller won and came back. Quite amazing by losing 4-0, losing the first 2 sets, coming strongly back and winning the next 3. Oh, it's... Yeah, 6-4 for Miller. When we changed to the set system, Sebastian Flood, French archer, Olympic champion in 1992, he said that archery is not about making 10. Archery is about making 10 when you need it. So that's it. And one arrow, the last one, is when you need a good shot. And all what happened before is not so important anymore. It's just when you need it.
Yeah, that's very well said.
Good. That will be the end of our recurve. I don't know if we have some shoot-off in some of the other matches. If this is the case, I think we'll have a long wait, 10-15 minutes to the next one. If there's no shoot-off, probably in 5-6 minutes we can start for the cadet.
And the cadet division coming up is recurve also, correct?
Yes, in recurve we are doing recurve the first 2 matches and compound the last one. They will have to reset the target to move them from 70 to 60 and then ready to go. What used to happen in archery competition in days like this is as soon as the competition is over, the wind stops.
Yeah.
So many archers or coaches comment to us and say, why we don't start now? But this is quite usual.
Well, that's interesting. In this part of the country, in fact, in most of the U.S., where there's windy conditions, which there's more than not, one thing that happens at sunset, usually the wind stops. And we've had several discussions about shooting at night. This field is set up where we can shoot up to 50 meters under light. And we have some night shoots just for fun, but very interesting if we could have the lighting to be able to shoot in the evening. Conditions could change drastically for us. I think that's true with a lot of venues. You know, I remember the London Olympics.
Correct.
You know, the wind wasn't usually a factor there. And all of a sudden for the Olympics, it became a factor.
Totally right, good memory. Antalya in Turkey, we have the same case, or Shanghai in China some years. Yes, it's interesting that in the time we have the competition, it's to be windy or rainy, and then when it's finished, we have a lovely day.
Yes. Well, that's, you know, the reason, once again, looking at our facility, having a 90 meters, 70 meters now for an indoor range, the scores change drastically when you take all the Mother Nature away and all the conditions. It's great to have that, because that's, I think, what the sport's all about.
It's an outdoor sport, and it's part of the challenge to manage the wind, to manage the rain, manage the snow, the cold or the warm. Yesterday was extremely warm, and the archers have to hydrate a lot, have to drink, and have to manage the heat, when today they have to manage more the wind.
Absolutely.